Welcome to English MindTalk, where real conversations change the way you think.
I'm Jessie.
And I'm Tom.
Today, we need to talk about something people feel but rarely say out loud.
You know what I noticed recently?
That people pretend they're fine?
Exactly. Everyone says I'm fine like it's a survival skill.
Because saying anything else feels dangerous.
Dangerous how?
Like, if you actually tell someone how you feel, you suddenly become too emotional, too serious, too much.
So we hide feelings to stay acceptable.
Yes. And the funny thing is, everyone is secretly waiting for someone else to be honest first.
That's interesting. People want honesty, but nobody wants to start it.
I realized this last week. A friend asked me, "How are you?" And I almost said the truth.
Almost?
Yeah, my brain froze. I had a whole paragraph inside me, but my mouth said, "Good."
That gap between feeling and speaking is huge.
Why is it so hard, though? We learned grammar, vocabulary, tenses, but nobody teaches how to say, "I feel weird today."
Because emotions don't follow grammar rules.
Exactly. You can know perfect English and still not know how to talk about yourself.
So today isn't really about English.
It's about courage disguised as English practice.
Let me ask you something. When was the last time you clearly told someone how you felt?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Not even recently?
No. I hint, I joke, I complain indirectly, but I rarely say the sentence directly.
Like what sentence?
I feel lonely. That one feels illegal.
Why illegal?
Because loneliness sounds like failure, like you couldn't build a life people want to stay in.
But loneliness is universal.
I know that logically. Emotionally, it still feels embarrassing.
Maybe the problem is we think feelings need justification.
Yes, we think we need reasons before emotions are allowed.
So instead of saying, I feel sad, we explain the entire history first.
Exactly. We turn emotions into presentations.
Let's try something simple. Imagine someone asks you, what's wrong?
My instinct is to say nothing.
What could you say instead?
Maybe, "I'm just feeling a little off today."
That's honest but safe.
Safe honesty. I like that.
Most emotional conversations start small, not dramatic.
That's comforting. I always imagined emotional talks needed big speeches.
Real conversations are quieter.
You know what I struggle with more?
What?
Naming the feeling itself. Sometimes I don't even know what I feel.
That's very common.
Sometimes it's not sadness or happiness, it's like mental noise.
There's a phrase for that. You can say, I don't know why, but I feel heavy.
Heavy. That word makes sense.
Emotional vocabulary doesn't need to be complex. It needs to be accurate.
So instead of impressive English, we need honest English.
Exactly.
Can I admit something?
Always.
I sometimes rehearse emotional sentences in my head before saying them.
That's actually a powerful practice.
Really?
Yes, your brain practices emotional safety before real vulnerability.
That makes me feel less strange.
Let's try examples people can actually use.
Okay.
Imagine you're overwhelmed at work,
I'd normally complain about tasks.
but emotionally.
Maybe, "I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed today."
Perfect.
That sounds simple, but it feels brave.
Because you're revealing inner reality, not external problems.
Wow, I never thought of it that way.
Most conversations stay on events. Few reach feelings.
That explains why people talk for hours but still feel unseen.
Exactly.
So feelings are like the hidden layer of conversation.
Yes. And when that layer opens, connection starts.
You know what scares me, though?
What?
What if the other person doesn't respond well?
That fear stops many people.
Because rejection hurts more when you're honest.
True, but silence hurts longer.
That line hit me.
Emotional risk is short. Emotional suppression is long.
I think many listeners understand English perfectly but freeze when expressing emotions.
Because emotional speaking requires identity, not just language.
Identity. That sounds deep.
When you say, I feel disappointed, you're showing who you are, not just what you know.
So emotional English equals personal English.
Exactly.
Okay, let's try another situation.
Go ahead.
Imagine a friend cancels plans repeatedly.
What would you normally say?
I'd say it's okay, even if it's not okay.
Honest version.
Maybe, "I feel a little hurt when plans change last minute."
That sentence protects honesty without blaming.
That feels healthier than pretending.
Emotional communication is clarity without attack.
Why weren't we taught this in school?
Schools teach language structure. Life teaches emotional language slowly,
Painfully slowly.
usually through misunderstandings.
Oh, yes, I once lost a friendship because I never said I felt ignored.
You stayed silent.
For months. Then one day I exploded emotionally.
That happens when feelings accumulate without expression.
If I had just said one honest sentence earlier, things might have been different.
Small honesty prevents big emotional damage.
That sounds like relationship wisdom hidden inside English practice.
Language and relationships are deeply connected.
I think people are afraid feelings will make them weak.
But clarity actually creates respect.
You believe that?
Yes, people trust those who understand their own emotions.
So emotional expression equals emotional maturity.
Exactly.
I want to talk about another feeling people hide.
Which one?
Jealousy.
That's a difficult one.
Nobody wants to admit jealousy. It sounds ugly.
Yet it's extremely human.
How would someone say that honestly?
Maybe I noticed I felt a little jealous and I'm trying to understand why.
That sounds self-aware instead of negative.
Because feelings aren't moral failures, they're information.
Feelings as information. I like that.
Emotions tell us what matters to us.
So jealousy might mean we desire growth.
Exactly.
I think listeners need permission to feel without judging themselves.
And language gives that permission.
You know what surprises me?
What?
When someone finally talks honestly about feelings, the interview instantly becomes deeper.
Because authenticity is rare.
It feels like suddenly switching from small talk to real life.
Let me ask you something harder.
Okay?
Why do people often understand others' feelings but struggle to express their own?
Maybe because understanding others is safe. Expressing yourself is exposure.
Yes, empathy feels safer than vulnerability.
That explains why many people become great listeners but silent speakers.
Exactly.
I used to think emotional fluency meant talking a lot.
It actually means choosing honest words carefully.
So fewer words, deeper meaning.
Yes,
Can I admit something?
always.
I sometimes rehearse emotional sentences in my head before saying them.
That's actually a powerful practice.
Really?
Yes, your brain practices emotional safety before real vulnerability.
That makes me feel less strange.
Let's try examples people can actually use.
Okay.
Imagine you're overwhelmed at work,
I'd normally complain about tasks.
but emotionally,
Maybe I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed today.
perfect.
That sounds simple, but it feels brave.
Because you're revealing inner reality, not external problems.
Wow, I never thought of it that way.
Most conversations stay on events, few reach feelings.
That explains why people talk for hours but still feel unseen.
Exactly.
So feelings are like the hidden layer of conversation.
Yes, and when that layer opens, connection starts.
You know what scares me, though?
What?
What if the other person doesn't respond well?
That fear stops many people.
Because rejection hurts more when you're honest.
True, but silence hurts longer.
That line hit me.
Emotional risk is short. Emotional suppression is long.
I think many listeners understand English perfectly, but freeze when expressing emotions.
Because emotional speaking requires identity, not just language.
Identity. That sounds deep.
When you say, I feel disappointed, you're showing who you are, not just what you know.
So emotional English equals personal English.
Exactly.
Okay, let's try another situation.
Go ahead.
Imagine a friend cancels plans repeatedly.
What would you normally say?
I'd say it's okay, even if it's not okay.
Honest version.
Maybe, I feel a little hurt when plans change last minute.
That sentence protects honesty without blaming.
That feels healthier than pretending.
Emotional communication is clarity without attack.
Why weren't we taught this in school?
Schools teach language structure. Life teaches emotional language slowly,
Painfully slowly.
usually through misunderstandings.
Oh yes, I once lost a friendship because I never said I felt ignored.
You stayed silent.
For months. Then one day I exploded emotionally.
That happens when feelings accumulate without expression.
If I had just said one honest sentence earlier, things might have been different.
Small honesty prevents big emotional damage.
That sounds like relationship wisdom hidden inside English practice.
Language and relationships are deeply connected.
I think people are afraid feelings will make them weak.
But clarity actually creates respect.
You believe that?
Yes, people trust those who understand their own emotions.
So emotional expression equals emotional maturity.
Exactly.
I want to talk about another feeling people hide.
Which one?
Jealousy.
That's a difficult one.
Nobody wants to admit jealousy. It sounds ugly.
Yet it's extremely human.
How would someone say that honestly?
Maybe I noticed I felt a little jealous and I'm trying to understand why.
That sounds self-aware instead of negative.
Because feelings aren't moral failures, they're information.
Feelings as information. I like that.
Emotions tell us what matters to us.
So jealousy might...
That's when emotional growth becomes lonely for a while.
Lonely? I thought learning to express feelings would fix loneliness.
It often reveals it first.
That sounds unfair.
Imagine you finally speak honestly, but the conversation stays shallow. You suddenly notice the distance that was always there.
So awareness comes before connection.
Yes, awareness changes how you experience relationships
I think many people fear that moment.
because it forces a question.
Which question?
Who can actually meet me emotionally?
That question feels heavy.
It is, but it's also freeing.
Freeing how?
You stop expecting deep understanding from people who never learned emotional language.
That makes sense. Sometimes people aren't cold, they're just untrained emotionally.
Exactly. Emotional expression is a skill, not a personality trait.
So when someone responds awkwardly, it might not mean they don't care.
It may mean they don't know what to say.
I've experienced that. I once told a friend I was struggling, and they immediately changed the topic.
How did you interpret it?
I thought they didn't value me.
And later?
I realized they were uncomfortable with emotions, not with me.
That realization changes resentment into understanding.
But it still hurts.
Of course, understanding doesn't remove emotion, it softens judgment.
So what should someone say when another person opens up emotionally?
Something simple. Thank you for telling me, or I'm glad you shared that.
That feels warm.
Emotional conversations don't need perfect responses, they need presence.
Presence feels rare these days.
Because many people listen while preparing answers instead of understanding feelings.
Yes, conversations feel like competition sometimes.
Emotional speaking invites cooperation instead.
I want to talk about another difficult moment.
Go ahead.
When you feel something strongly, but you don't want to burden anyone.
That's a very common fear.
I often think, everyone has problems, why add mine?
That belief creates silent suffering.
But isn't it considerate not to overwhelm others?
There's a difference between sharing and unloading.
What's the difference?
Sharing invites connection. Unloading demands rescue.
So intention matters.
Yes, you can say, I don't need solutions, I just want to share how I feel.
That removes pressure from the listener.
And makes emotional conversations safer.
I wish I learned that earlier.
Most people learn through emotional mistakes.
I remember a time I stayed strong for everyone else.
And forgot yourself?
Exactly. I became the listener, the supporter, the calm one.
Many empathetic people fall into that role.
And one day I realized nobody asked how I felt.
Did you tell them?
No, I waited for them to notice.
That's a silent expectation many people carry.
Yes, I thought love meant being understood without explanation.
But emotional communication often requires translation.
Translation of feelings into words.
Exactly.
So instead of waiting to be noticed, we must speak.
Yes, not because others don't care, but because minds cannot read silence.
That sentence hurts a little.
Truth often does.
I think many listeners are realizing something right now.
What do you think they're realizing?
That they've been hoping someone would magically understand their feelings,
And hoping replaces communication.
which creates disappointment.
Repeated disappointment.
I want to try another real-life example.
Go ahead.
Imagine you feel distant from a partner or close friend.
Most people accuse first.
Yes, they say, you don't care about me anymore.
Emotional language changes that approach.
Maybe instead say, I've been feeling a little disconnected lately.
That invites conversation instead of defense.
Wow, same emotion, completely different outcome.
Words shape emotional safety.
It's amazing how small sentence changes transform relationships.
Because emotions respond to tone more than logic.
I used to think emotional communication meant being dramatic.
It actually means being clear.
Calm honesty feels stronger than emotional explosions.
Exactly.
Can we talk about something people rarely admit?
Sure.
Sometimes we don't express feelings because we don't fully accept them ourselves.
That's deep.
Like feeling disappointed in your own life but pretending everything is fine.
Self-honesty comes before shared honesty.
So the first conversation about feelings happens inside us.
Yes, internal dialogue shapes external language.
I sometimes ask myself, what am I actually feeling right now?
That question builds emotional awareness.
And sometimes the answer surprises me.
How so?
I think I'm angry, but I'm actually hurt.
Anger often protects vulnerability.
That explains many arguments.
Many conflicts are misunderstood feelings.
So emotional English is also emotional decoding.
Exactly.
I feel like we're talking less about language and more about being human.
Because language exists to express humanity.
Here's another difficult feeling: disappointment.
That one is hard to admit.
Yes, saying, I'm disappointed feels confrontational.
But it can be gentle.
How?
I had different expectations and I feel a bit disappointed.
That sounds respectful.
Emotional honesty without blame.
I notice a pattern.
What pattern?
Honest emotional sentences often start with, I feel,
Because they take responsibility for emotion.
instead of accusing others.
Exactly.
I wish more people understood that expressing feelings is not attacking someone.
Emotional language reduces conflict when used sincerely.
You know what I find interesting?
Tell me.
The more clearly someone talks about feelings, the calmer they seem.
Because unspoken emotions create inner tension.
So expression releases pressure.
Yes, silence stores emotion. Speech processes it.
That sounds almost therapeutic.
Conversation has always been human therapy.
I think many listeners want practical phrases they can use today.
Let's share some natural ones.
Okay.
I feel nervous about this.
I'm excited, but also scared.
I need a little time to think.
I feel grateful for you.
I didn't realize this affected me so much.
These sentences feel simple but powerful.
Because emotional clarity creates closeness.
Can we talk about crying?
Of course.
Many people apologize for crying while talking.
Yes, they say, sorry, I'm emotional.
Why do we apologize for feeling?
Social conditioning. Emotions were often labeled as weakness.
What could someone say instead?
I think this matters to me more than I realized.
That reframes emotion as meaning, not weakness.
Exactly.
I love that.
Emotional expression is not losing control, it's revealing importance.
That sentence alone could change how people see themselves.
And relationships, too.
I want to ask you something personal.
Go ahead.
Do you find it easy to talk about feelings?
It became easier with practice.
What changed?
I realized emotions don't disappear when ignored, they just speak louder later.
That's painfully true.
So I started expressing small feelings early instead of big feelings late.
Small honesty prevents emotional explosions again.
Exactly.
I think many listeners recognize themselves right now.
Probably.
People who stay quiet until one day they suddenly say everything.
Emotional backlog.
Yes, years of unsaid sentences coming out at once,
And others feel shocked because they never saw the buildup.
which creates misunderstanding.
That's why regular emotional communication matters.
Not dramatic talks, just small check-ins.
Like saying, I've been feeling tired emotionally lately.
That feels gentle but honest.
Emotional conversations don't need special occasions.
They can exist inside everyday moments.
Exactly.
You know what's strange?
What?
Learning to express feelings changes how you listen to others, too.
Because you recognize emotional signals faster.
Yes, you hear what people mean, not just what they say.
Emotional literacy increases empathy.
I feel like emotional communication is almost a hidden language.
One everyone understands, but few practice consciously.
That makes today's topic feel important.
Very important.
But here's something I'm still wondering.
What is it?
If someone spends years hiding feelings, how do they even begin speaking honestly for the first time without feeling completely exposed?
Usually, they don't begin with a big confession.
Then how?
They start with a small truth.
Small truth sounds less terrifying.
Because emotional courage grows gradually, not suddenly.
So the first honest sentence doesn't need to change everything.
Exactly. It just needs to exist.
I think people imagine emotional honesty as standing under a spotlight,
But it's more like opening a window slightly.
letting a little air in.
Yes, enough to breathe.
What would be a first small truth someone could say?
Something simple like, I've been feeling a bit quiet lately.
That feels gentle.
Or, I'm not sure why, but I've been thinking a lot recently.
That invites curiosity instead of pressure.
Emotional conversations work best when they open doors, not force them.
I remember the first time I said something honest like that.
What happened?
I expected judgment. Instead, the other person relaxed.
Honesty often gives others permission to be honest too.
It was strange. The conversation slowed down. It felt real.
Real conversations have space.
Space feels rare in modern life.
Because people rush to fill silence.
Silence used to make me uncomfortable.
Many people fear silence because feelings appear there.
Yes, silence feels like emotional exposure.
But silence also allows understanding.
I noticed something recently.
Tell me,
When someone truly listens, I start understanding my own feelings better while speaking.
that's because emotions clarify through expression.
So, talking about feelings isn't just sharing, it's discovering.
Exactly. Many people learn what they feel while saying it aloud.
That explains why journaling or talking helps so much.
Language organizes emotion.
I want to talk about another moment people struggle with.
Which moment?
When someone asks, "What's wrong?" and you honestly don't know.
That's very common.
You feel something heavy, but there's no clear reason.
In that case, honesty sounds like, I don't know exactly what I'm feeling yet.
That sentence removes pressure to explain.
Emotional clarity is a process, not a requirement.
I think many listeners believe they must understand themselves perfectly before speaking.
But emotional conversations are part of understanding.
That changes everything.
Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Why do you think people feel relief after finally expressing something they've hidden?
Because they stop carrying it alone.
Exactly.
The feeling isn't always solved, but the weight becomes shared.
Humans were never designed to process emotions alone,
Yet many people try.
especially strong people.
Yes, the ones everyone depends on.
They often feel they must stay composed.
I used to believe being strong meant handling everything quietly.
And now?
Now, I think strength might mean allowing yourself to be seen sometimes.
That's emotional maturity.
There's something peaceful about saying, "I'm not okay today."
Because honesty removes performance.
Performance, that's the word.
Many people perform emotional stability.
Smiling when exhausted, saying fine when overwhelmed.
Eventually, the performance becomes tiring.
And you forget what genuine expression feels like.
That's why relearning emotional language feels strange at first.
Like learning to speak again.
Exactly.
I think listeners practicing English often memorize perfect responses.
Yes, predictable dialogues.
But real conversations are unpredictable.
And emotional conversations even more so.
That unpredictability scares people.
Because vulnerability removes control.
Yet it creates connection.
Always.
I want to talk about appreciation, too.
That's an important emotion.
People struggle to express gratitude deeply.
They say thanks automatically.
But sometimes feelings go beyond thanks.
Then you can say, I really appreciate what you did for me.
Or, that meant a lot to me.
Those sentences strengthen relationships quietly.
I once told someone, you make difficult days easier.
That's powerful.
They looked surprised, almost emotional.
Genuine appreciation is rare and memorable.
It made me realize expressing positive feelings is as important as expressing pain.
Absolutely.
We often wait until loss to express appreciation.
Because we assume people already know.
But unspoken gratitude is invisible gratitude.
Words make feelings real to others.
I feel like emotional expression is less about speaking perfectly and more about being present honestly.
That's exactly it.
Can I share something personal?
Of course,
Sometimes I worry I feel too deeply.
many sensitive people feel that way.
Like emotions arrive stronger for me than for others.
Sensitivity isn't weakness, it's awareness.
I'm learning that slowly.
Emotional depth allows meaningful connection.
But it also means getting hurt more easily.
True, openness carries risk.
So why choose openness?
Because closed hearts avoid pain but also miss intimacy.
That feels honest.
Emotional expression is choosing connection despite uncertainty.
I think that's why people search for conversations like this.
To feel less alone in their internal world.
Yes, sometimes hearing others talk about feelings gives permission to acknowledge your own feelings.
Exactly.
I want to ask one final question.
Go ahead.
What happens after someone learns to talk about feelings comfortably?
Something subtle changes.
What changes?
Conversations become slower but deeper, relationships become fewer but more real, and silence stops feeling empty.
That sounds peaceful.
Because emotional honesty aligns inner life with outer life.
No more pretending.
Less pretending, more understanding.
I think the biggest realization for me is this. Talking about feelings doesn't push people away. It reveals who's willing to stay.
That's beautifully said.
And maybe that's what people truly want.
Not many connections, just real ones.
I imagine someone listening right now, maybe walking alone, maybe studying English, maybe feeling something they couldn't name before.
And maybe they're realizing they already know enough English to express their heart.
Maybe all they need is one honest sentence.
One sentence can change a conversation.
One conversation can change a relationship.
And sometimes, one honest moment can change how you see yourself.
I think if I could tell listeners one feeling right now, it would be this.
What would you say?
You don't have to hide your emotions to belong.
And you don't need perfect words to be understood.
Just real ones.
Because feelings spoken sincerely rarely sound wrong.
They sound human.
And maybe being human together is the real goal of language.
I like that ending.
It doesn't feel like an ending.
More like a quiet understanding.
Like a conversation that stays with you after it ends.
The kind you replay in your mind later.
When you finally say something honest you've been holding for a long time.
And realize it wasn't as scary as silence made it seem.
Yes.
Maybe tonight someone will try their first small truth.
And someone else will finally listen.
That thought makes me feel calm.
Me too.
Thank you for this conversation.
Thank you for being honest inside it.
And thank you for listening with us.
Until the next conversation lives quietly inside you.